Good morning, students. The purpose of this video is to help you a little more with your pronunciation. Specifically, I'm going to walk you through the pronunciation of your vocabulary words for Lesson 2 and Lesson 3. Sometimes it's helpful. We're not going to do this with every lesson, but sometimes it's helpful to just pronounce through some of the words as you're still getting used to the way the vowels and adjectives work together and the way the emphasis is on the accents. So turn to the first page of Lesson 2, which would be page 7. I mentioned before that in Ray Summers' textbook, Essentials of New Testament Greek, for some reason there's no page numbers on the first page of the lesson. Kind of goofy, but it's a really good textbook overall. Anyway, if you find page 6, and on page 6 of our textbook there is a cool picture of an ancient Greek manuscript. Find page 6, go to the next one over, and at the very top you'll see where it says vocabulary. Over on the left side you have some verbs, over on the right side you have some nouns, and I'm just going to systematically go through each one, starting with the verbs and then the nouns, so that you can hear how these sound and kind of get used to it. So make sure you have your textbook open to page 7, lesson 2, and here we go. Ago, ago, and ago means I lead, as it tells you. The next one, akuo, akuo. Now I'm giving a little extra stress to the accented syllable because I'm wanting you to understand that. We would normally say like akuo, but I'm saying akuo to give it a little extra flair so you understand the accenting. Akuo, of course, means I hear. Now, sometimes I'm going to give you a little mnemonic device. That means a memory device for some of these words. I don't have one for all of them, but I have one for a few of them, and you can come up with your own for the ones I don't give you. Akuo, think of a baby cooing. Sometimes little babies make noises like coo, and yeah, you hear that. You hear the noise a baby makes. So put the coo from akuo together with the idea of a baby, and that'll help you. Okay. The next one is blepo, blepo, and blepo means I see. The next one, echo, echo, and echo means I have. The next one is luo, luo, and luo is an important verb because we're going to use luo to build all of our verb paradigms, and we'll talk about that later. But for now, the word luo means I loose, or in some contexts, I destroy. Now going to the nouns. Now the nouns have the word, then they have a comma, then they have what is called an article. And we'll talk about the articles later. For now, the article, we're not going to pronounce the article on each of these. The article is telling you that that's a masculine noun. When it has a little omicron with a rough breathing mark over it, that tells you that that is a masculine noun. Okay, so the nouns on lesson 2. Angelos. Now notice that that starts with two gammas. We have an alpha and then two gammas. The two gammas together make an NG sound. So angelos. And of course we get the word angel from angelos. And yeah, it sounds like angel. So that's pretty straightforward. Next one is edelphos. Now this is important that we understand it's edelphos. It means brother because sometimes you hear people say like adelphus. It's not adelphus, it's edelphos. And again, that is because of the accent. The next one is doulos. Doulos. Doulos means slave or servant. The next one is karpos. 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 And karpos means fruit. I do have a mnemonic device on this one. It may not register with some of you, but when I was a little kid, we used to watch these movies about a Volkswagen Bug that was alive. They were called Herbie. I think they made a remake of a Herbie movie, but I don't even know if you guys know what a Volkswagen Bug is anymore, some of you kids. But Herbie was obviously a Volkswagen Bug, which is a car. And there was one Herbie movie called Herbie Goes Bananas. And there's this one part of Herbie Goes Bananas when they put bananas all over the car, kind of to disguise it or something. And so if you imagine a Volkswagen Bug with bananas all over it, and you think that, okay, a Volkswagen Bug is a car and bananas are fruit, that kind of helps you remember karpas means fruit. That might not be helpful to you at all. I don't know. It's helpful to me, and so we'll just roll with it. The last one, and you've heard this one before, is logos. And logos means word. Now, it's really important that you don't say logos. Kind of drives Greek guys nuts when non-Greek people say logos. And I know the Bible software that's called Logos Bible software, they do pronounce that logos, but they shouldn't. If this were logos, there would be omegas. There are not. There are omicron. So it is pronounced logos, and logos means word. All right, that would be chapter 1. Pardon me, that would be chapter 2, as you know. I'm just making sure you guys are sharp. Now go to chapter 3, which is page 11. Of course, it doesn't say 11 on the actual chapter. I'll show you something I do just in case this is helpful to you. I put a little 11 up at the top of the page there to help me know what page we're dealing with. Okay, we've got a few words for lesson 3, and each of these is a verb. So I'm just going to pronounce through these as well. This will probably be the last time I do this for these chapters, but I just want you to be able to kind of get a little bit more of an idea of how to pronounce Greek verbs here. So the first one is gnosko. Gnosko. And gnosko means I know. Sometimes you hear words like, gnosis for knowledge or Gnostic, and, in your Bible programs, a lot of times you hear about the ancient Gnostics. And remember, the Gnostics thought they had some secret knowledge. So that's related to the verb gnosko, and gnosko means I know. Next word is grapho. Grapho. And grapho means I write. And the way to remember this one's pretty easy, because you would write on a graph, and the word graph, of course, comes from grapho. The next one is didasko. Didasko. And didasko means I teach. And a lot of times in academic circles, like at a college, we use the word didactic. It has to do with teaching methodology. Like we would say, my didactic methodology is, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And that would be talking about our teaching methodology. So we get didactic from didasko. All right. The next one is egeiro. Egeiro. And egeiro means I raise up. The next one is thelo. Thelo. And thelo means I wish, or in some cases, I will. But it's not I will as in I will do such and such. It's I will as in I will this to happen. So I wish or I will. The next one is lambano. Lambano. And lambano means I take or I receive. The next one is lego. Lego. And lego means I say, or in some contexts, I speak. Now, a way you can remember this one if it's helpful to you. When I was a kid, they had these commercials for Eggo waffles. They may still have that, I don't know. But, somebody would steal somebody else's waffle, and then the person would say, hey, Lego my Eggo. And that was something they would say. They would verbalize the thought, Lego my Eggo. So Lego means I say or I speak. That might be a little bit, I don't know, far out for you. But either way, that's what it means. That's how you pronounce it. Good times. The next one is pempo. Pempo. Make sure you have that short E, pempo. Pempo means I sinned. And lastly, we have pharaoh. Pharaoh. And pharaoh means I bear or I bring. A way to remember this one is that pharaoh sounds a little bit like pharaoh, as in the ancient Egyptian king. And if you imagine, somebody bringing a gift to Pharaoh, they bear it to him or they bring it to him. So Pharaoh, I bear or I bring. Alrighty. I will see you in the next video.